Good evening, everyone. I am Divit Mehta. My friends Joshua Fernandes, Arya, Ghangale, and I together have created this internal HMI system of an elevator using MATLAB guide under the guidance of Professor Dattatreya Sawant. As you can see, this is the HMI guide diagram. On the left hand side, if you see, we have used 6 axis components to represent the floor buttons. The reason we have used axis components because we couldn't find circular push buttons, and we also wanted to customize the buttons according to us. Also, we have used an edit text to represent to display the current floor which the lift is on, and we have used 4 push buttons. This one is for opening the door, this one is for closing the door, this one is for clearing all the floor buttons that have been pressed accidentally or incorrectly, and this is for stopping the lift in case of an emergency. This is an edit text which shows the lift door status, meaning closed or open, and on the right hand side here, this is basically an axis component which is a visual output of the lift moving. Here, this is the final output, the HMI figure after running the MATLAB code. As you can see, our lift goes from ground to 5th floor, and on every floor, whichever floor the lift is on is shown on every floor. As you can see, these are the 4 buttons as I had explained earlier, and the lift door status is shown on the left hand side. So this is the elevator control logic. Basically, my team and I have created a simplified version of the MATLAB code in the form of a flowchart. So here, as you can see, this is the flowchart. The blue boxes are conditions, while as the pink boxes are the instructions, and start and end are in orange. So once the system starts, first it checks if the emergency stop button is selected or any flow buttons are selected. If the emergency stop button is selected or any of the floor button, like no floor button is selected, then it stops the elevator timer and closes the door. If the emergency stop button is not pressed or any of the floor buttons are pressed, then the system determines the direction of the elevator, which is like up or down based on what floor it is on, and it determines the next floor. After this, it checks if the current floor is a selected floor or not. If the current floor is not a selected floor, then it checks if the door open is if the door at the unselected floor is open or not. If it is open, then it closes the door, and if it is not open, then it moves the elevator 1 floor towards the next floor, and then it updates the floor display on all of the floors and indicators. If the current floor is a selected floor, then at the next floor it checks whether the manual override is active or not. Basically, the manual override is a function wherein if you double tap or double press the floor button, it cancels or unselects that floor. So if the manual override is active, then it clears the manual override and then removes the floor request, and then it stops the system. And if the manual override is not active, then it opens the door and then checks whether the door open timer is expired or not. So our door open timer is about 5 seconds, and if the door open timer is expired, then it closes the door after the time expiry and then stops the system. If the door timer is not expired, then it closes the system. And the entire flowchart, our entire system is in a loop. So basically, after every instruction and condition, it goes back to the start block and then again follows all the commands. This is the working of the HMI, a visual representation. As you can see, you've pressed all the floors from ground to 5th, and you can see the lift moving. And as I click on the close button, it shuts, and when I click on the open button, it stays open and resets the timer of 5 seconds. And on every floor it displays the floor on which the lift is currently on every floor. Yeah. And again you're pressing, and then when you click on clear, then it unselects all the floors. And when you click on emergency stop, you can see the lift door status is stopped. It shows stop. And when you clear, it just clears all the floor buttons and the door closes. Thank you.